Check it out, y'all. I'm here in my public housing. But look, we got a rec center, man. And it's got a traditional Nihon mono. Traditional Japanese. I think that's called, not engawa. Oh, man. Anyway, it's like an outside place where you could sit, relax, and have a cup of coffee or tea. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm gonna do. I just had a cool morning. I'm a official crossing guard. It's awesome, dude. This means born to cross guard. Now that's a loose translation, but that's what it means. An awesomest dude ever. Not awesomest. That goes out to Biz Marquis. Because he said, "Oh, baby, you got what I need." And if you haven't heard it by now, damn it, R.I.P. to Biz Marquis. Because he's from the projects. And he wasn't talking about killing people or shooting people. Because he didn't sell people out, man. He was OG. And he continued to DJ and all that till his last days. Like, God, he couldn't have been more than what? In his 50s? It's crazy. But Pickin' Boogahs. If you haven't heard Pickin' Boogahs, man, you need to go listen to that. Go do it right now. He went to high school. So the story is, he went to high school with Big Daddy Kane. And if you don't know who Big Daddy Kane is, you must be on the cane. And by the way, I got allergies, man. No cocaine, no cocaine, no cocaine. If you're chewing coca leaves in Peru, that's cool. I mean, that's an OG medicine. So, nah, coffee, man. But Big Daddy Kane and Biz Marquis, and he's talking about they used to flick boogers at each other in class. Put boogers on their hand and shake hands with put boogers on the basketball. I mean, that song is freaking hilarious. That's old school. That's when I came up listening to hip hop. Like, you still had the OG cats, like older dudes, and it just reminded me, like when I was at growing up in Concord. Like, you would meet people, and they would give you like good advice, and then they'd be like, "Hey, man, but can I, get that?" Or good stuff, man. You got to listen to it. Yo, oh, what else I want to say? I want to say something else. Oh, and then what do you know? Jay-Z, I think, man, he's always older than he looked, but apparently, see, he got to start touring with Big Daddy Kane. And, Jay-Z, I think in the mid to late 90s was his key years, right? And then, how many times can you rap about being rich? Like, I'm rich, I got this. I wanted to do one time, like, you just make a shopping list, like, I own 100,000 buildings and all the cars. I drink all the beer at all the bars. And look what happened, P. Diddy, what do you have them freak off parties? God damn. Like, just follow it. Like, when we were in high school, I was telling one of my students here, like, they would say, if you got $1 million, what would you do with it? So, imagine you got all the money in the world. I asked one of my students, said, you go home, just print all the money, you never have to worry about it again. What are you going to do? He couldn't even really imagine that. He was like, oh, they don't really ask questions like that in Japan a lot. Sometimes, but not like we used to at Mount. I remember the assignment was, if you had one day to live, what would you do? I was like, man, I would go steal a Cadillac. And I said, I said, of course, I'll spend all this time with family and friends. And then I said, this is crazy. I wrote this, like, then I smoke some crack and jump off the bridge. Because, I mean, that was the 90s, dude. It seemed like the shit to do, but I wouldn't do that. I think black coffee is enough. But, yeah, if you imagine that and then what you would do, it's like, then you can get through the dummy-ass thoughts and think about what you really want to do with your time. Because my OG friend John met in my writing class, nobody's promised tomorrow. And wow, we're really seeing that. So what are you gonna do? Like, what do you actually enjoy? Chasing money so you could get stuff. Like, fuck. I think we all bought a lot too much stuff on Amazon or whatever. And they started selling books. Isn't that crazy? Selling books. Then all the bookstores went out of business. Even the fucking chain stores, like, that we didn't really like. But man, I spend mad hours at Barnes and Nobles. You know, you buy coffee and sit there for like 5 hours, see the same people if you had to study or something. I wrote my goddamn master's handbook out of Starbucks in Berkeley on Solano Avenue, man. Shit. But then, you know, and it reminded me, Vajra from USF, she was telling us once, like, they asked Native American kids, hey, draw a picture of yourself. And they drew the whole environment up. Like, almost every time, if they grew up in traditional way, the whole environment, all their relatives, it's everybody. And that was them. And then they asked all these kids that had really been, like, westernized or Americanized, draw you. And they just drew, like, a face, you know, very, like, it's like zooming in. And, like, then people get into old age and wonder, like, you know, they have a psychological breakdown, like, oh, I feel trapped. It's like, because when you were born and you're a kid, you know, like kids running around touching everybody, eating gum off the street. Because you don't see the boundaries. Like, we get mad sometimes, my son, for like bumping into us and stuff. And like, I don't think he's not doing it maliciously. You don't see the boundaries. So then you're trained to see your boundaries and they shrink. Next thing you know, you're solitary skin confinement. The next thing you know, nobody want to hear from you. And then boom, they move you out if you're not in. So it's a perspective, you know? So the whole earth belongs to you. Go check your DNA. It's from the Big Bang, the Big Bang. So, you know, that's the difference. You really do have it all. It's right in front of you. Look at your fingertip. You got the shape of the goddamn universe on it. The swirl, the oozer, bam. Okay? The third eye. So don't go for the okie doke. We got it all. So just how we gonna use it. They want to distract us, divide us. All this bullshit don't make no sense. They make dollars and cryptocurrency that ain't worth shit. So let's get on it. Yo, pick your boogers. That's some real talk. If you're a paisan or you got a big nose, picking boogers, man. Old school. All right, one love, everybody. Peace out from the engawa. That's not what it's called. God damn it. What is it? I'm gonna find out and post in the bottom. Peace. West side, east side, all sides.